everybody, this is Pete from Pete on the AT, day 54, my Appalachian Trail through hike. Julie just dropped us off from the hostel. We're basically right where we left off. I don't know, we got picked up there in that white building yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, and we are headed north. And so we're either going to do 13 miles today or 18, depending on the terrain and the heat and everything. So it's good. Ought to be pretty interesting today. It's going to be 80 degrees, and you know, it could be a long day. Anyway, that's it for the day. I hope everybody had a good evening, and we'll see you down the trail. Hopefully there'll be some views and some interesting things to video. Take care. Hello everybody. Let's see, I'm 4.5 miles into the day. Train's been pretty good, but I just wanted to show you a view that normally would have been pretty spectacular, but you know, I talked about the leaves filling in, and you're gonna have to look. Can you see the mountain ridge over there? This is going north, and you can see a little bit of a mountain ridge over there, but it's virtually gone now. So, you know, unfortunately, I won't have a ton of views to show you like I used to, just because, you know, it's pretty much leafed out. It's not completely leafed out, but it's enough leafed out that it's gonna, you know, diminish or even eliminate the views that I used to show you. Anyway, the day's good. It's low 70s. I can feel the humidity, so I definitely worked up a sweat. And this little stretch, for whatever reason, does not have an overabundance of water, I can tell you. So it's actually a 7-mile stretch between water sources, which is pretty unusual for the Appalachian Trail, especially you know, this time of year. Nothing's dried up. It's just, you know, we're on kind of the top of the mountain, and sometimes the water sources are more at lower elevations, but there's nothing for like 7+ miles. So I've got 1.5 liters left, and I'll just make sure that I drink a little bit so that I'm completely dry by the time I get to the next water source. And then I usually camel up, so I'll chug almost 1 liter while I'm at the water source, and then I'll again take another 1.75 liters is what I generally carry, you know, on a regular basis. Okay, so just wanted to reach out and say hello and try to show you a view that's disappearing. Thanks. Okay, so got a little bit of an update, not a great update, on the water situation. So just met a southbound hiker, and she asked me about if I had enough water, and I said, you know, I got a liter and a little bit. And she told me that the spring that was 4 miles ahead of me was dry, and that's where I had planned to get more water. And so then she told me that the next water northbound of that was another 3 miles at the shelter, which is good water, she said, because she stayed there last night. But there's nothing now between now and 7 more miles, and I've already done for five miles. So that is a really long stretch with no water. I would have been fine had that spring that's, you know, on the map and in the app wasn't dry. I mean, it did say it was unreliable and it was a small spring, But being that it's completely dry, that is a whole different thing because it's pretty warm. I've been sweating a good bit, and I've got a liter left, and 7 more miles. So anyway, I asked her if she would just tell Mike that I'd meet him at the shelter for lunch and resupply of water, and that way we'll be able to just rest a little bit because we'll probably be pretty worn out, and we might rest there for an hour or more and then get back up and start hiking again. Okay, but that's life on the trail, and it was just super nice of that southbounder to let me know about the spring, because now I can divvy up my water a little bit better and not go super thirsty the last 3 miles. All right, we will see you probably at lunch. Here's some more of those beautiful flowers. Okay, so somebody out there in TV land, tell me if these are rhododendrons with these little teeny tiny leaves, or if they're an azalea. They look like an azalea, but I just can't tell. All right, but whatever it is, these leaves are my favorite, or these flowers are my favorite flowers so far on the trail. Well, this is the second big pile of bear poop that I've seen in the last mile. The first one, I had come across some overturned rocks on the trail, and I started thinking to myself, that looks like a bear's been eating here. Here's another pile. It's a smaller pile, but it wasn't 10 feet away from the first pile. But back about a mile, I started seeing some rocks being overturned right along the trail. There's another pile. So maybe this was a mommy and 2 cubs, perhaps. But I thought to myself, that's bear sign. And then I walked a little farther, and then I saw a great big pile of poop, and then I just saw those other 3 piles of poop. So there's a bear or 2. This is their range. I'm glad I'm walking through it versus staying here tonight. But that's just life on the trail. Well, guess what I just passed? 600 miles. That's another wonderful milestone. I know people say, oh yeah, well, you got another 1,600 more to go, and I'm just not thinking in that perspective. Just thinking one resupply at a time, one 40 or 50 mile segment at a time, and then you break that kind of down into the days. Like, okay, we're going to do 14 miles, 2 15 miles, and a 10 mile, or something like that. And that's how you mentally keep from psyching yourself out and making you think, oh my gosh, I've got another 1,600 miles to go. I've only done 600. Well, that would freak most people out. So I'm just taking it in little 50-mile chunks, and it's amazing how those 50-mile chunks add up to another 100 here, another 100 there, and we'll just keep chipping away at it slowly but surely. Again, this is one of the premier endurance events. It is not a sprint, that's for sure. I went just a little bit farther, and somebody else had put another 600-mile marker. Pretty cool. Hey, just finished lunch. Whoops. At the Jenkins Knob shelter, I think. Anyway, Mike's going to go get water. This was the longest stretch that I've walked on the AT without water. The spring that was kind of halfway between water sources was dried up. There was not even a drop in it. And it said it was unreliable, but still thought there was going to be something. But anyway, we're at a shelter right now. Had lunch, got cameled up, got a liter and 3/4 of water, and I think we're gonna hike on. Probably go another 4 to 5 miles, and it'll end up being a 15+ mile day. Okay, we'll see you down the trail. Hey everybody, just want to let you know we're kind of at our stealth campsite. It's a campsite that's in the app, but there's not a lot to it. It's just two tent spaces and a fire pit, and this is on this top of a ridge, and this is going to be where we call home tonight. We did a little over 16 miles today, which was a little longer than we planned originally, but it's a good spot, and it'll put us in a good position for tomorrow and the next day. So probably gonna close up things here, get my tent set up, and get some grub in me, so you can kind of see where the sweat ends and the salt begins. But appreciate you all watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.